Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Kimberly from Journal Breeze. Today I'm going to show you a flip through of a journal I just finished today. So it'll kind of be my first flip through too. I've named her French Country and I'm keeping her. She is primarily from kits from the Paper Cameo, whose design team I'm on. And the most recent kit is called French Feather, and in it are a lace sampler that was a salesman's sample back in the 1940s, I think. And I told Nicola when she asked for it that I'd be happy to share it, but I would never use it if it stayed the color mauve pink that it was. And so she came up with a beautiful blue and ecru version of this sampler, and it just thrills me no end. So I will be using that digital for a long time to come. But the rest of the French Feather Nest is her newest kit. But the French Feather is a beautiful kit for many, many reasons. And then I also brought in papers from Something Blue, which is her two blue kits that came out just previously, and they're just stunning. And I'm working on another couple of journals using those kits as well. And I also used papers by Rachel at Roxy Creations, and some things from the Graphics Fairy, and I think I'll know others as we come along, but I'll just mention them if I haven't already. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're all well. It's Sunday afternoon here. It's another rainy day, but I have a million lights on to hopefully move this, make it as bright as I possibly can. So French Country to me is the same as a French Provençal, which is very old country French. And the Provençal is a very curvilinear design pattern. The types of furniture that you might associate with France often have that very curlicue sort of top. It's not really curlicue, but it curves too much for my taste. I don't really like it, but I do like their the fabrics that came out of that era, and one of those, of course, is indigo. So I chose this. It's a paper. I made it out of paper, and then this lace was on a slip, and it actually was quite wide, and part of it had come off. So I took the other part, but it was pleated. They pleat it down at first, and then they put the fanciest part at the bottom, and then there was another fancy part here, so that it would show under a dress. I mean, just, so beautiful and so country. Or farm. Think of farm, the farm trend that's going on now. Think of that, and you'll kind of get the drift of sort of what I think of as French country. So I added these trims here, and this is actually part of that, but I put this on top because it was just a French seam here where they turn it over and then they stitch on the machine on both sides, and it wasn't very attractive. So I think that added a nice detail and brought the indigo in. And then this, of course, is a beautiful zigzag with crochet at the top. Too bad I can't get any clearer. I have it on autofocus so that it doesn't go in and out, so it's kind of a choice. So I want to be able to go close up or have it on autofocus. I don't use my phone. I use a special camera actually for teaching, so it forces some issues here. And then this, I thought about stringing, some sort of floss through, but I decided against it. Actually, this country white was very much what the French used. A lot of white, a lot of indigo, and a lot of orange gold, and gingham. So I felt really compelled to put this ribbon on it. Yeah. So let me share with you how I made the cover. I made made the cover by cutting 2 pieces of fabric. This is cotton, and in between is a very large magazine page. And I glued the magazine page down, and then I glued another fabric over that. And so it made it really nice, not floppy and not heavy. And I wanted this to stay really smooth. And then I stitched 3 times around the edge. And you see that in old quilts and French things. So 2 close to the edge stitches. Let's see if I can. Oh, it's hard to see, sorry. 2 close to the edge and then 1 a little bit more in. And I used a navy thread, or sort of a medium blue thread, I guess you could say. Alright, so I didn't glue the first digital down, apparently, here. So it's forever rippled. Because when I press down, it just has nothing to stick to. Kind of a bummer. But I don't care. I knew I'd keep it for myself anyway, so I'm okay with it. But live and learn, so just really get your glue good. I'm trying to remember what kind of glue I used. Probably put, fabric tack. Only I use Beacon 123 around the edges. It's my favorite fabric glue. And then I may have used glue stick in here, and that's how I missed this area. That's what I'm thinking maybe happened. So anyway, that aside, the rest of it turned out beautifully, and I'm not dwelling. And this is the paper that was made from the sampler that that was used for her to make the kit. And it was exactly the same design. She changed nothing. It's on a sateen fabric, which is not the same as satin, just as the stitch. But it did have a bit of a sheen because the stitch causes this sheen. And then the lace itself is sort of a dirty white. I don't know if it was ever a white and it just really is dirty. But this is such a beautiful rendition that she did. It's prettier, I think. She lightened it a little bit, and it's actually prettier than on the pink. And then this beautiful piece is actually from a gorgeous handkerchief. I think this is the one I carried in my wedding as something old from a wonderful woman who was like, I called her aunt, but, she was just so close to her family. And so that's why I wanted to put that there, because I love the way it looks. And the actual handkerchief it's on is so thin, I couldn't figure out how to actually glue it down, or I would have had that here, which would have been stunning, but I could not see a way to be able to actually glue it down. And had I thought about it originally, maybe I could have sewn it on, but I'd already put the thing together before I figured out the cover. So, so this is a feather for the kit. And it's just a beautiful page. I mean, what can you say? It's so gorgeous. And I've shown some of you this document holder that I made. Holder folder. Oh, came undone. Okay. So I turned the edge over, and I made this to put on top of the brad. This is a brad with a twisty thing, and I wanted to cover it up, and then the papers inside I attached with this black cord. I just didn't want to put holes in them because they're all very usable. Letters are folded, I have receipts in here, I have full letters. So I just didn't want to put a hole in them. And this is a pretty piece that just came out of one of Rachel's digitals. So I just backed it and put it on another piece and slipped it in like this. Yeah. So it helped to keep the graphics vary. And this is from one of the older kits by Nicola. Starts with a B. I love it. And this is from the blue, something blue kit. So I'm not going to do this through the whole journal. It just takes too long. All right. Oh, Sam Poole did these letters. I ended up going a little whimsical. Oh, let me just put this here. Hold on a second. When I saw this gold stripping, I just thought that was so cute. And I'd already stitched this flower on top and done this, machine, a little bit fancy stitch. And it just made me think I wanted to add that. I love that it's a pewter gold combo that Nicola put on this, and I wanted to really draw attention to it. So I put that on there, and it kind of started me on kind of a whimsical, I consider this whimsical, bent. So I brought in things that I hadn't really thought I'd bring in. This is more of that handkerchief. And let's see if I can bring this a little bit closer for you. Yeah. And then this I glued down to the back of the letter, and this is a vellum. This is a crocheted triangle that I glued on by the tip, so it's a pocket. Another page that she made using my sampler with the ticking at the bottom. I think it's so cute. It's got this wonderful, I forget what this is called, twill, or herringbone stitching that would be along if this was used as a cover, it would be along the spine. It would be on the front of the spine, and then there's this wonderful design on the spine. It's really a great book cover. Now this is where I got a little more whimsical. I brought in my dolls that I had made from an old kit by Chapter 1 Papers. And I put this poem on it, since you last saw me. Bring the sky beneath your feet and listen to celestial music everywhere. I just felt like in this setting with the bird and just the feel of it with the lace across the top and the flowers on the side, it just felt whimsical to me. And then this is layered with different pieces. These heads came from Chapter 1, from our Vintage Ladies. I think it's the hat kit. It's pretty paper, but I wanted her to be right there so that she's like kind of the bird is her pal. Woman who likes nature and likes birds. This is one of the tags, and this is a seed packet from Chapter 1 and one of Chapter 1's papers. This is from a kit that Nicola brought out around Christmas. I think it's called Christmas Heart. And this is in the new. And this is from, probably also from Ruby and Pearl. That's what really made. I went through so many choices on what to put here, and the elk is running through the woods, and then I thought, well, they could be sitting in the woods having a circle, so I like that there. This is a very fragile spiderweb handmade crochet piece. You can see the knots here where she tied off. And it was just so pretty. And I thought, how am I ever going to use it? And on a cover, it just wouldn't have worked because you can't glue all of these individual things down. But on the inside page, you could. So I sort of set it up so that the center was around this blue, and this was sort of like a stem with leaves. It was kind of like a flower head. And then this is just a little piece I made. I did some stitching. I got into a stitching mood. And put this piece of polka dot on top to kind of soften the green. This is from Rachel, from one of her papers. And this is a beautiful, it was a block. So it's old, I would say, from this very low thread count, kind of rough muslin that it's probably during the Depression. So 1930s. And then I pinned it across the top because I wanted to be able to take it off if I wanted to use it somewhere, truthfully. But I also thought the pins were cute. And I used very old pins that were very, very short. So that was appealing to me. So it's lots of French knots. Very textured. Beautiful, right? And I thought it really showed off this page beautifully, which is from the Something Blue kit. It's such a gorgeous standalone page. It needs nothing. And I like how the page shows behind here, ruby and pearl. And then these two beauties just look great together. I really didn't need anything in my opinion, but I did love this poem. It's from John Keats. It says, "And still she slept on in azure-lidded sleep, in blanched linen, smooth and lavendered." And I like the tea. I like the color. It's sort of a mint. And then this is paper by Heather at Rose Hill Cottage. I love. I realize that this is the side that you're supposed to show, but I felt that the design showed better on this side, so I chose it. And then I used a lot of rusted paper clips and staples in this intentionally, and so I stapled that on, and then put a piece of silk sari across the top. You know, again, country is not supposed to be perfect. This can be written on, this can be written on. I thought it went pretty with this background. This is the center of the journal, and this is one of the tags, so beautiful. And then I added this tag, and it's actually a pocket. I don't have anything yet to put in there. This is from Graphics Fairy. And then over here we have one of the pockets from the kit. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Actually, it's huge in the kit, but I made it tiny. And then it lines up so beautifully with that. Oh my gosh, I just love it. Whoops. Graphics Fairy. Could be a place to put something. Look at this beautiful design and some of the signature lace that Nicola uses, and more of my sampler. And then this is another page from that book that the other one came from. I put the lace across the top because they have lace across the top of this French country bed curtain. It says, "Let's go to that house, for the linen looks white and smells of lavender, and I long to be in a pair of sheets that smell so." Whoops, you can't even see it. So it's a quote that came. It was a book on linens, and they're just so beautiful, just so beautiful. So I figured, I could put my name there if I wanted to, but I didn't want to do too much to affect it. I just thought it was such a beautiful bed curtain, so welcoming. So Little key at the end. Key to my bedroom kind of thing. This is a lace piece that came from Sheffield, which is a famous lace manufacturer, from a woman who taught me a lot about fabrics and how to name them and what the different weaves are, and she would send me samples with little notes. So the note that she sent with it is in here, special for you. So it's from Spliffy. Oh, I said it wrong. Sheffield. In the 1940s by Strobel Embroidery Company in New Jersey. She lived in Ohio. She's a wonderful person. She's no longer with us. And another whimsical touch. So that was fun. And this is also a pocket if I wanted to put something in there. And then this I made into a pocket. This is from one of Nick's older kits. Not old though, it's pretty current. I think her first heart kit. And this is from Something Blue. This is an old French page. This is Chapter 1's seed packets from, it's called French Cottage. And this is Heather's kit. I like this color red one with her hat, the blue and the blue. I don't know what moved me to do it. I actually was just going to leave it like that. But I just got this sense that, you make do when you're in the country. You fill in with what you have. You don't run out and buy things all the time. And she was just sitting there on my tabletop. I have them. And she said, put me in here. So I did. This came out of a paper that I cut. It's from Everlasting Journals. And this is the Tiffany stamp that I got from Lorna. And I'm still practicing on it. But I did get a new stamp from Lorna, which I actually want to find a place for in here. Isn't that beautiful? It's her newest stamp. Le Boulevards de Paris. Oh my gosh, I love it. I stamped a whole bunch. Some came out better than others. This one is on white. I think I have another one. Oh yeah, I do. Right here. So this is the one I was going to use. So let's see. This looks good behind here, but I wonder if this could also, gets hidden. Alright. There we go. Oh my gosh. Trouble is, it's not very country because it says Paris, but I guess they made a day trip out of it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, guys, I know I'm goofy. I know it. This is from the new kit. This is from Flora and Fauna. Okay. Alright, so these are the French country estate around the corner. And couch, they love their stripes. But I like this wallpaper behind it, so I put a little sample on there. And I think it looks cool just with this. This is a page from Nicola's older kits. And then these open. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I just love that. It just went so well with this scene. Dove. Just beautiful. And then this is a seed packet from Chapter 1. The same flowers as that. Similar to that. Not same, but this is from Rachel. I just bought this kit, but it's been out for a while. And I love it. Oh my gosh, there's so much beauty in this kit. They're collaged pages. You can use them as is or tear them up. And that's an older kit by Nicola. But isn't that beautiful? And then this I cut out of that book, British Flowers. And I just wanted to fill it with something other than a person's face. And I thought that picked up the hue. Love this turquoise, so I picked up that. Very colorful page. Really, really like it a lot. I think it's super country feeling. Eclectic. This is from chapter 1. The newest kit. And old kit by Nick. And then this is the Fireplace, which I originally was going to put in... Where's that page? I was going to originally put it... the one with the trees. Yeah. In lieu of these ladies, I was going to put this. Because of the engraving and the engraving here. But it didn't really speak to me here. Because, like, what is it? I mean, you might recognize it's a mantle and a frame for the mirror, but not necessarily. And then you pull it out, and there's the only real nature. So, that's how these ladies came to be. But I felt like here, the color was right. You would eventually get down to it, Paris in the springtime. Or that's the name of a store, but it means springtime, I think. And so I liked these curlicues. I like that. This is very curlicue. And of course this is beautiful. And I think this is, I'm not sure. It might be Vintage Scraps Craft. Back of the letter. This is a piece of vellum that has a design in it. And this is a note card that I bought decades ago. Either side is so beautiful for this kit. It could be put in there any old way, but I ended up putting it in there like this because of that showing. Yeah. And this is the last page. Sorry if I've been off. Paris, springtime. Okay. This is the back page, which is the other side of the bird, and it's beautiful writing, gorgeous, and more of my lace that she took off and laid there. Love it. This is a pocket that's in the kit, and I laid it. There's eggs at the bottom of this page because it's, you know, she made it around the time of Easter. Well, it just wasn't quite what I wanted for this, so I cut up the front of the envelope and laid it on the bottom of the envelope and connected those two intentionally. So it's a beautiful page if nothing else was in there. I just love it. But I did decide to put a little bit of eye-catching stuff in here. And there we go. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some ideas that you want to use for your own journal that's using the nest, or using the feather kit, and maybe even the salesman's sample that actually was used in the 1940s. Have a wonderful day, you guys. I hope you have really a great week too, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.